Vajrabharahi is diamond sa. Vajragini is not diamond sa. Vajragini is a Dharma team meditator. Yogini, yoga is meditation. Inner or outer. It can be physical yoga, it can be inner yoga. Example, in Vajragini you have 11 yogas that are untalked about. In Narava you have the 6 yogas of Narava, very tantric advanced practices. So yoga is meditation or a method for accomplishing something. It's more a method for accomplishing something. A yogi is a male person who's engaged in yoga. A yogini is a lady, a female that's engaged in yoga. So when you say diamond, Vajra is representative of this. This is a Vajra or Dorje. Dorje Nejurma, Vajra Yogini. A Vajra represents a diamond, something that's indestructible, cannot break, cannot be destroyed by anything, and that's pristine and beautiful. So this one represents a diamond when you hold it, and the 5 points represents the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. The 5 Dhyani Buddhas are representative of the 5 aggregates of our body completely transformed, which I'll talk about another time. And so when your 5 aggregates of your body are transformed transmuted into the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, you become diamond-like. Why? Because you reach a position where you are immovable, you cannot go down, you cannot be destroyed anymore. Why you have reached Buddhahood? Buddhahood is another explanation, a diamond is another description of Buddhahood. A beautiful word, poetic word. And therefore, when a Lama does rituals and he holds this, especially in Lama Chepa, it represents great bodhicitta. So when you're doing the ritual and you're asking for the Buddhas that come forth, like in Lama Chepa, when you're requesting them, you sing a song, you hold an incense, or you have incense burning, and you play beautiful music, and you're sitting alert with your meditation, and you're clean, and you're dressed properly. What is that for? It's out of deep respect for the holy being that you're reminding. And so when you hold it at the level of your heart, and you recite the verses with the correct meditation, and correct motivation, then the wisdom beings actually come forth. Those who have the third eye can perceive it. Those who have some sensitivity can feel it. Those who are just, like rocks like me, well, I keep thinking the high lamas can all be lying. And they come forth, and why do you wave this at them? You wave this at them saying, in your great compassion, that is immovable, that is diamond-like, even for someone like me, please come forth. Please appear to this beautiful talk site and bless us, partake of the talk so that we have an opportunity to offer to you the great merit field. In your great compassion, in your great love, in your great attainments, that is represented by this diamond-like mantra. Appear forward. And then you ring the bell. Why do you ring the bell? The ring the bell represents horns. Beautiful animals escorting the Buddhas in, elephants, beautiful peacocks, beautiful longhorns, and beautiful cymbals, and clarinets, and incense, and flutes, and the cloud perfumed with beautiful powders and sandalwood and myrrh, and wonderful gods and devas and men and non-men and spirits and demons, all with great faith with us. They roll out a beautiful carpet for the Buddha. The great Naga, the great king of the Nagas, come forth and lays his back, who's extremely long, lays his back down, face down, offering his body as a walk path or walkway for Lord Buddha in order for him to collect merit, so he doesn't have to reincarnate as an animal again. And then all his disciples, all Buddha's disciples around him, instead of chit-chatting away, talking on the handphone and hanging out, picking their noses, they actually sweep the way for Buddha to come. They're sweeping the way, they're dusting the mosquitoes away, they're playing clarinets and horns. Some are holding incense so that the way that Buddha is walking, even the smell is not contaminated. And then the gods on the top throwing flowers down. Men on the bottom and women are throwing beautiful flowers on Buddha. On the walkway, so when Buddha walks, the flowers are there. It's a big parade, it's pomp and ceremony. It's an excitement, it's respect, it's love. It's total commitment that this being is going to bring us out of unhappiness and out of suffering. Therefore, to celebrate, to show, to symbolize, to prepare for the teaching, to collect the merit to receive the teaching and to be able to understand it. We clear the air with beautiful incense such as sandalwood. We sweep the ground, and the great Naga king comes and offers his back. And normal men to gods, normal men and gods, they throw flowers on the walkway. So Buddha's holy lotus-like feet never touches the ground, which it doesn't anyway. And then they play incense and sounds and music to celebrate, to let everyone know, to let sentient beings know someone holy and excellent is coming. And then they have, on top of that, they have a royal parasol of silks and brocade and peacock held above the Buddha as he walks toward his throne to give a Dharma teaching. So when we do this, it represents invitation. When we hold the incense, it represents a celebration, the purification of flowers. And what's happening, that's the visualization. And when we ring the bell, it represents beautiful music and the excitement. And everybody just so happy to invite Buddha. Why? For the knowledge they will receive that will take them out of suffering. And therefore, during Lama Chöpa, that's the visualization you can do. Or any invitation of any Buddha, when you ring the bell. If you think about that. And although that's not really happening, when you visualize that and offer that to the Buddhas, you will collect the merit as if it is happening. And the merit you collect from that type of mental offering, of that kind of preparation for a Buddha to give you teachings, you collect the merit, which creates a strong force for you to receive teaching at that time. And when you receive the teaching, because of the merit you generate behind that visualization, you're able to gain attainments. And the difference between people who have been in Dharma for a long time and a short time is not how much they know. It is if they actually, number one, have Guru devotion, the correct one, real Guru devotion. If they have real Guru devotion, what kind of Guru devotion? Not the slave-like one that just come and clean the house and wash the floor and massage his back all day long. But behind his back, they do no practice. They don't read, they don't study, they don't meditate, they don't do offerings, they don't do their sadhanas, they break their commitments, they're rude to other Dharma members, they talk, and they don't keep their promises. That's not Guru devotion. I'm not talking about the slave Guru devotion that's very small and pitiful. You come and massage your Guru, you clean up his house and whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's not Guru devotion. A maid can do that. That's, people you can hire to come and do that. That's not Guru devotion. What's real Guru devotion is behind the scenes that we do. So, that's number one, very important. In Sutra, it's important, but in Tantra, it's the pith. Second is holding one's smile, one's vows at one's statement. What vows? Refuge vows. Bodhicitta vows. And those of you who have received any type of lower Tantra has received bodhicitta vows. Definitely. And you should read it every day as part of your sadhana. How could you hold what you don't know what you're supposed to hold? And Tantric vows to those who have the higher Tantric initiations. And then to do your sadhanas required by you. And not just to mindlessly read through it. Even if your sadhana is the Lama Tsongkhapa's Guru Yoga, just simply read through it. It takes you 2 minutes. I'm finished. I'm holy. Good night. Turn on the TV. It doesn't work that way. To actually sit there in a clean place, to have the meditation ready, offerings ready, clean, and your body clean and ready, you're a good receptacle. And then you sit and you actually meditate on Guru Yoga of Lama Tsongkhapa with commitment and understanding and recite Lama Tsongkhapa's mantra well. And then you do the dissolution where actually Lama Tsongkhapa dissolves into you and you're still connected to Maitreya heaven. Then it has a profound impact. Why? That whole yoga, Guru Yoga, Lama Tsongkhapa is what? It is to purify your negative karma on a tremendous way without commitment, on a non-tantric level, although it is tantric in nature, without obviously showing it is tantric. So there's no danger. And it is in conjunction with the 7 limbs of offering, requesting, turning the wheel of Dharma, confession of one's negative karma, rejoicing, opposing one's jealousies, dedication, etc., etc. Everything is there. And it's so simple and it's not dangerous and it's short. And if we do that every day, it's powerful. And then you're thinking, well, when we get to the mantra, you know what that is? That is actually Vipassana meditation on a simple level. When you do the mantra and you focus your mind on one point of Lama Tsongkhapa, his nose, his ear, his hat, and then you make that grow and you hold that visualization strongly. And if you can hold it One day, 1 minute, next day, 2 minutes, maybe next week you hold it for 2 minutes and then your mind goes off. Maybe you can hold it for 2 minutes without your mind going off 25 times. That's an accomplishment. So when you hold that visualization along with as form, that's why iconography is so important. In Tibet, in India, Nepal, Mongolia, and China, they didn't have cameras. People didn't know what they looked like. And you're dealing with people who are not very able to visualize, so you have images to help them. So when you visualize one part, maybe his hand, and you go to the second hand, and what he's holding, then his chest, then you expand, and you can do that better. You're creating this Vipassana meditation. Why? You're creating ability to hold your mind on one object without moving. And you think that Tibetan Buddhism has abandoned the southern schools? No. Cannot. It is incorporated with it. That's why in Tibetan Buddhism, we practice 3 paths in one. The 3 yanas, Hina, Maha, and Tantra. All yanas are included in one. Simple and short, and that's why we have so many people that are taking very fast. It's actually pretty easy to get another life. Just control where you're going to be rewarded if you do these practices. Because there are actually methods to do that. And then after you finish, and then when you do that visualization, meditating along with that, you create this asana, very powerful, and your mind becomes more aware, more alert, more quick in your perception. Your senses become very quick and very alert, very clear, very fast. And then when you go into deeper parts of meditation where you can hold your mind stronger, you'll recall your previous lives for a long time. You will recall. First sign will be you'll start seeing lights. Different color lights. You don't talk about it, you don't brag. And then after you start remembering things that happened to you, what you said very clearly, like, oh yeah. Or when people start asking you things, you can remember. Your memory becomes better. Much better. Because what you're doing is very logical. You are training your mind to remain calm and to focus. And to have good memory, it is focus. You can't take Bingo or Jingo or all these kind of weird pills to give you a good memory. Trust me, I've taken all those. Tibetans have Yangchama Ribu, Saraswati pills that's supposed to make you have good memory. Trust me, I've been taking those for years. I take it by the handful, and it didn't help me. I'm not saying it did not help me, but as far as I can see, it's not wrong, but it does. Maybe it keeps your mind clear so that you can do meditation. In that way, I'm not sure. For me, it didn't improve my memory much. I'm not criticizing. So when you do that, and then you focus on it, you're making your memory and your awareness grow. Do you find yourself unaware? Do you find yourself insensitive? Do you find people telling you you're insensitive? You're unaware? And then you always forget? Or you always are not paying attention? Do you find yourself like that? Do you want to remain that way? You have to ask yourself, do I want to remain that way? If it's yes, okay, I have nothing else to say. If it's no, I'm giving you the method right now. One very simple, cheap, easy method that you can engage in every day. Look, if you can go to the gym every day and work out and you can become skinny or muscular or whatever, why can't you do a mental exercise and work out? There's even exercises for your eyes and improve it to a point where you need your glasses to be very little, the power, or none at all. We've heard of those. It's not a mystery, it's real, scientific, where you strengthen your eye muscles. They have that. So if we can do that, why can't we strengthen our memory? Definitely we can. It's if you want to. So people who are in Dharma for a long time, they have the methods in front of them how to improve their awareness and memory. So they don't engage in it, they don't put their mind towards it, no result. Very simple, no result. So when you know more Dharma, know more and more and more, you know how you can look at a person and gauge them? Because you know the Dharma. When you know the Dharma, you can look at them and read them bottom to top very fast. And in fact, you can say things about them that might sound even rude, but it's actually penetration of who they are. And other people are like, how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? Because you know the Dharma. You know how to look at the science. Just like I said before, a good accountant has to require a good accountant. You can just look and say, he's a good accountant. Just look at his work very quick. So when you look at a person, you know what they're about. You know what to say, and your words will be very penetrating and very, very sharp. Why? It's sharp because the other person, how sharp the words is dependent on your ego. What's the ego? Protecting me. Not wanting to reveal who I am. Not wanting people to know. So if your words are sharp, then their ego is very big. If your word is not sharp, it means their ego is not very big and they want to do it. And after you say your sharp words, that they run off or disappear or run away or go away, right? It shows you that they don't want to practice and their ego is very big. But after your sharp words, if they say, oh my God, thank you. and they work harder and they do more, it shows you they're sincere. How do we know that? Because in a Guru devotion text, it speaks about that. A lama's wrathful words is purification mantras for you. Then you have to think, what? So does that mean I have to sit by my Guru and get screamed at every day, all day, and I get purified, I can be a Buddha? No, it doesn't mean that. A Guru's wrathful words is like purification mantras. It says it in 50 verses of Guru devotion. A Guru's wrathful, scolding, and words, fierce, is like purification mantras. Why? Because when you listen to what he's saying and you do it, you don't create any more karma, and the karma you created by the action you purify. That's why. So if you listen to the Guru's tone and the words and not the meaning, you run away. If you listen to the meaning and not the tone, you stay. If you're a high-level student who's been in Dharma for a long time and they hold your vows and have Guru devotion, whatever the Guru says to you, it will not affect you. You know why? It is presupposed you haven't reached that level. What level? Not Dame, exactly. Dame is no self, but close to it. Every year, you know how you judge how you become better in Dharma? Is how you take other people's words. How you take people's criticism. How you take what people say to you. And afterwards, whether you go on or give up. That's how you check your Dharma practice. On layman's terms. Who can check if you have clairvoyance? You can make up some bullshit, whatever, you have spies around and they tell you things and then you tell them, oh, I know that, and you go, oh, wow, I do that all the time. I trick people like that all the time. I have spies everywhere where people actually think I'm clairvoyant. I've been doing that trick for years and getting unfiles for that. That's how I've been building my reputation up. He's clairvoyant. But it's okay, at least I'm open about it. But you can't check people's clairvoyance. You can't check people's powers. You can't check their attainments. But you can check them and yourself. More yourself, how good you are in Dharma. Why? When people say something to you, how you react. And whether you continue or not. If they say something to you, they criticize you in front of everybody, I lost face. See, in Dharma, you're supposed to already go above your culture. In Chinese, don't make people lose face. It's very good, it's very bad. In Western, don't care about face, just come out with it. It's very good, it's very bad. Because in the West, that's why they have all these psychoanalysts. Everybody comes out with it. It never ends. Everybody's coming out with something. In the East, there's no psychoanalysts. Why? Don't make people lose face. That's good because you respect people and give them a chance. But at the same time, it's bad because you help them suppress what they're hiding. So you see, both ways is bad because it's samsara. It's just two sides of a coin. West is not better. East is not better. No, it's not. It's not better and it's not worse. It's just two sides of a coin. If you choose this way, okay, choose it. Chinese have this big face thing. Don't make me lose face. Don't intimidate, harass, and approach me and confront me in public. If I lose face, whether right or wrong, they run. If I lose face, whether right or wrong, they're gone. And they can't face it. And you know what? When you do Dharma practice well, that aspect of you will disappear. You don't lose your Chinese cultural identity. No. You don't. But it doesn't affect you either. So if someone makes you lose face, unlike what you were before, you're not going to get up and run. You say, oh, is it true? Yeah. And how do you respect that? You don't make other people lose face. But you yourself say, I can think deeper. Whereas 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before you got Dharma, you practiced. You would not even listen to the words or the meaning. You would just be gone. How dare you talk to me like that? How dare you say that? How could you? You make me lose face. And then anger comes. And then from anger, you run and you can destroy any shred of goodness that you may have. Or any shred of a chance of goodness that you may have for yourself. So if you run away because you don't like the words and you don't like the way it was told to you, that shows clearly you are not practiced. You have not practiced. You're not holding your vows, and you have no Guru devotion, or any of the above, or all. Why? When you practice Dharma deep enough, you're already transcending. You transcended that you don't care how people talk to you anymore. You don't care about your culture. You don't care about your culture in what way? You don't abandon it, but your cultural mores and hang-ups do not affect you negatively. So 5 years ago, before you learned Dharma, someone in public humiliates you, you'll be fine. And maybe if you had stuck around with that person and you worked hard, maybe 5 years later you'd be like super successful because that person, you earn their respect. Although they talk to you like that, they're like that to you. You don't run. You don't fight back. They respect you. Whereas if you run, what happens? You may lose a chance. And what created that is not the person shouting at you. It is you. Because how I can validate that, even in worldly terms, when you go read biographies of great people, Hollywood, whatever, they get nose slapped on their faces 1,000 times a year. But that one yes makes them a superstar. And some of them, if you read Harrison Ford, his biography, I read a short one, where actually he was told no for 7, 8 years, and then he went back to doing carpentry. And then he applied again, some casting, and he got a small part, and from there, he made it. It took him years of rejection. Everybody was no. And in fact, it became so bad, he didn't have money. But now look at him. And he has words of wisdom. He says, don't try to be a superstar, just get work all the time. If it happens you become a superstar, great, but that's just not the point. The point is you get work. Similarly for us, we don't worry whether we're going to be a superstar. We keep thinking, how many people can we benefit? Use our life for that. So when we get affected by words, and the tone, and the way it was said, it's a clear indication of our ego. What's our ego? The mind that suppresses our success. The mind that suppresses our success. So when you're more practiced in Dharma, 1 year, 2 year, 3, you know what happens? How people talk to you, how they act towards you, it affects you. Of course it does, because you're human, you're not a Buddha, you're not Yamataka. How does it affect you? Not as much as before, and you can still continue after that. And you become even better. And that's where Guru devotion comes in, because it is presupposed you have devotion towards your Guru. In what way? In finding the truth. So when your Guru criticizes you, and you don't run and you can take it, then anywhere you go, people can criticize you, you can take it, and you know what happens? You become successful. Why? Your Guru is actually your punching bag, your training ground. Your Guru is supposed to be someone that doesn't have any intention towards you, to harm you, to hurt you, that is learning, that can benefit you, that can bring you to a higher realm, higher sphere, higher thinking, higher dimensions. And he doesn't ask of anything from you, but he gives. So someone like that you respect, you will control your ego more with such a person. When you control yourself more with that person, then you're able to take more. Normally if you can't take it, you can take it with your Guru. So when you can take it once or twice, you keep taking it to a point, what? Not you become an abused student syndrome, you go see a psychoanalyst, I'm an abused student, I need to talk. No, it's not that. I'm a battered student. No, it's not that. What happens is this. You're able to take it, and then when you go out and people say this and this and this to you, you can take it. The first time is the people closest to you, your partners, your family, they start to notice a change in you. And when they see a change in you, peace comes, harmony comes, less fighting. That's the first signs. So if you run away from that, you run away from yourself. Where are your years of practice? Where's your training and awareness? Where's the motivation? What happened? And that's how you can tell what level their mind is, what type of people they are. And then if they've been in Dharma for many, many, many years, because I've been in America, I've experienced this many times. If they've been in Dharma many, many years and they're still like that, they run when they've been humiliated, they run when they're not happy, they give up when they're not happy, then you can pretty much surmise or conclude that the other aspects of their life is not successful. Why? Because this attitude of giving up very easy. It will be pervasive in their life everywhere, not just one department. So most people who don't give up easy, you can see some success in different parts of life. Success doesn't mean $1 million. It can mean they have beautiful friends that love them. Success can be you have a wonderful family life. Success can be that you're happy. Success can be that you don't have anger. Success can be that even the small things that you do bring benefit to others. It has nothing to do with just money. And so, if you notice these people, the ones who give up very fast, if you look at other aspects of their life, they're usually not successful in any aspect of their life. Usually not. Why? because they don't put effort toward anything. Where does this come from? This comes from practice of awareness. This comes from practice of awareness that leads to you listening to the meaning of what the other person is saying, and not the tone and not the words. And this can arise from very gentle and beautiful and easy meditation such as Lama Tsongkhapa. And not only are you learning awareness and increasing that harmony within your mind with other people and building strength not to give up, you also are not meditating on a breath which has no benefit. You are meditating on an enlightened being. So if you're going to do the Vipassana and you want to meditate on your breath, that's good. But why don't you just meditate on Lama Tsongkhapa? That's even better because it's double the power. Double. So the beautiful southern traditions of Buddhism, Sri Lanka, etc., beautiful. Beautiful. They meditate on the breath, they have a purpose. And they have a motive to become a Buddha, to be free from samsara. But if you go one step higher and meditate on the Buddha and have the same motivation, isn't that double? Triple. In that way, it's very, very, very much beneficial, because when you meditate on the Buddha, meditation upon a Buddha collects merit, because every part of the Buddha will result in benefit. So when we do this and when we invite the Buddha, we are collecting merits, although it's visualized. And then when they actually come, then we do our offerings. The first line of Lama Tsongkhapa's Guru Yoga's invitation. And when I ring the bell, when I hold this, when I just told you, what does it represent? That whole visualization that I told you. And not just 20 or 30 people in an entire marching band, or the Philharmonic of New York. I'm talking about millions you just visualize. And then you can, in Tantric, you visualize for your body as a Gita, beautiful dakinis going on. Very beautiful dakinis. And that has a very powerful psychosomatic effect on your mind. What is it? It expands your mind, it makes your mind open more, it makes you be able to give more, it makes you think more and broader and wider. It trains your mind better. Those who think very narrow, visualization is very powerful. Those who think very narrow. Those who are very short-sighted, they only think about themselves, not the effect or anything. This kind of meditation is very powerful. Those who are not aware, sleepy, cannot control their mind. I'm not talking about sleepy now, anytime. Sleepy doesn't mean your eyes are closed. Sleepy just means when knowledge is going in, it doesn't go in. And you don't know what's going on, you knock things over, you hurt people, you burden other people, you're always breaking things, losing things. If you have that kind of mind, this meditation is superior. And what does it require? For you to sit down for a few minutes every day and do it. And a sign that you doing it or not doing it, I don't have to sit there with a CCTV camera or webcam to watch you meditate. We can just talk to you and just look at you. The knowledge I give you now, you guys know. Now you know how to look at other people. You know my little secret. Yeah, that's a little secret you know. Now you can look at another person and not judge and say, oh, why do you use that? Not to judge or criticize them. And you're not in a position to do that. To understand and see, oh, it's a teaching for yourself. They've been down this many years, I don't want to be like that. Or, it's better yet, it is knowing how to deal with that person. Because at their levels there, you compassionately engage their levels and you compassionately help them. That's how lamas are extremely skillful in helping people, because they engage you very, very fast. Once they engage you, they know what to give you and what to say and what to do. They're nice to some people, they're fierce to some people, they're bitchy to some people, they're sarcastic to some people, they're silent to some people. Why do you think? Because they're schizophrenics, every single lama in Tibet? No, they're not schizophrenic, because they engage you very fast. Very fast. Just by the way you talk, the way you act, and they hear a little bit about you. Even the way you sit and move, they engage very fast. So therefore, they're able to give you advice that is very appropriate to you. Now, even if they give you advice that's appropriate to you, if you don't do it, then again, you're back to square one. Back to square one. So, Lama can't do anything. Lama can't take a Dharma text or Lama and stuff it inside your mouth. Here. Let it go inside of you. Cannot. The Lama cannot astrally transform the Lamrim into some kind of ethereal form and dissolve it into your heart and it becomes one who you cannot. Why? Because the Buddha says cannot. So you can gauge a person. If they're aware or not, you can know if they're doing meditation. And if they're not aware, as the years go on and they get older and they become the same or worse, you know they're not doing any meditation. Yet on the outside, they're normal. If you look at a person, they're still narrow-minded, stubborn, they won't widen their thought, you know they're not doing meditation. meditation. Because meditation brings the opposite effect. If they still blur, not awake, not aware, they can't learn, they can't remember things, no meditation. Because Buddha's giving you a method. Very simple.